Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to learn a new topic, solving systems of equations, and we're going to cover the graphing method. Now, what are systems of equations? Well, you already know how to solve a single equation. For example, if you have x is equal to 4 times 3, or that's a bit too easy. Say x squared is equal to 4 times 3, then you know x is equal to root 12. And so you've solved for x. Well, with the system of equations, you get two equations, and you have to solve for x and y. For example, your first equation could be x plus 3 is equal to y, and your second equation could be 2x is equal to y. And to solve this, you would have to find both x and y variables which satisfy both equations. There are a couple of ways to do this. In this video, we're going to cover the graphing method. The graphing method is just what it sounds like. We graph the first equation, then we graph the second equation, after we graph the first equation, and we find, so for the first equation we'll have a line like this, the second equation will have a line like this, and we have to find the point where those two lines cross. The point where the two lines cross is where the x and y values for the first equation, for the first line, meet the x and y values for the second line, which is exactly what we're solving for. So let's try an example. Here are two simple equations. Let's try to graph them now. It's a good habit to number your equations. So, x plus 5 is equal to y. That means when x is 0, 0 plus 5 is equal to y, 5 is equal to y. So, 0, 5 gives us our y-intercept. And our slope of a graph is 1, so our line will look something like this. Let's try the second equation. 2x minus 1 is y. When x is equal to 0, we have y is equal to minus 1. So the y-intercept here will be somewhere over here. And since the slope of this graph is 2, our line is going to be a little steeper than our previous line. It'll look something like this. And this is the point we're looking for. At this point, the two lines cross, and the x and y value for the first line is equal to the x and y value for the second line. These are the first and second lines. Now, let's try this again for an equation we can graph properly. Here's a graph. Here are two different equations. First one, y is equal to x. Let's put y is equal to x on our graph. Just a straight line like that. So that's y is equal to x. It's a good habit to label your lines. Now, let's graph y is equal to 2x minus 1. When x is 0, y is equal to minus 1. So our y-intercept will be here. And our slope is 2. So we go up by 2 every time we go across 1. Up by 2, up by 2, up by 2. And we see that our lines cross right here. And since we have a grid, we can see that this point here is 1, 1. X value of 1, y value of 1, 1, 1. And our last step is to always plug it back into our equation to see that it works. So xy is 1 comma 1, y is equal to x, check. Y is equal to 2 times 1 minus 1, that's 2 minus 1, check. So this must be the right answer, because our x and y value satisfies both equations. Alright, let's try some examples in the next video.